Strength training is not optional. Plethora of benefits that you guys all discuss. My point of view is what you said earlier. Someone was feeling more confident. They were standing up taller. Obviously, we know the shifts that it can help with our hormonal changes. It can help us sleep better. You have to be strength training.
Yeah. Welcome to Fated to Fabulous, the podcast for women who know that midlife is not the end. It's the beginning of something bold. I'm Kim Lovely, and I'm here with Vicki Kirby. We're here to talk to you about health, hormones, confidence, and joy. Midlife isn't about fading away. It's about stepping into your power and shining brighter than ever. Let's get into it.
So welcome, ladies.
Hi, friends.
So excited to have you back again, Fated to Fabulous. This week, we are doing Stronger, Not Smaller, Redefining Fitness After 40.
Makes me very happy.
So we are really excited. Today we have Cynthia Walker. She is an amazing human and an amazing trainer. And I think that she really aligns with us in how we feel about taking care of your body in midlife. So do you want to tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. As Vicki said, I am Cynthia. I'm a personal trainer and owner of Inner Athlete. And I have been doing this for 13 years, and I absolutely love my job, and I love helping women through all stages of life.
And your clients love you.
Yes.
We share a lot of clients, and they just love you.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like I've met you before, although today being our first actual meeting, but your clients speak really highly of you.
Thank you. Yes. Same to both of you. And I mean, I've been referring clients to Vicki for quite a few years now, and also you.
Thank you for that.
We've never officially met until today.
Awesome.
I'm so happy to have you.
So, Cynthia, what brought you to this? And let's call it a passion, right? It's a job, it's a work, but obviously you're passionate about it. So what brought you here?
So I became a mother at 26 years old. And when my son was about 3 months, I just had this major premonition of wanting to keep up with him, being very strong for him. And I'd been active all my life, but not necessarily consistently. So a few years later, being stuck in a corporate job, not having any flexibility to be a mom, I had hired a personal trainer for a sprint triathlon that I was doing. And as it goes with, personal trainers, you develop a relationship. She sold me on being a trainer and took about 3 years to decide to really make the leap. And I had continued to work with her for those 3 years. And I said, I think this is what I'm going to do. And she said, if you become a trainer, I will hire you.
Cool.
And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
the rest is history.
I love that.
And you went into business for yourself at what point?
About 5 years ago.
And what was the compelling reason to get into it by yourself?
Initially, money.
Yes. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm very big on balance. And again, it was great for those years that I was at a gym. I have nothing but high regards for where I worked, but making my own income, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur and try working from home. So our business is actually on our property. We renovated our detached two-car garage. I'd always kind of had this vision of myself walking from my house with my little mug of coffee across the driveway to the gym, and that's where it is.
It's awesome. You'll have to come check it out.
Cool. Yes. Please invite me. I'd like to come.
Okay, you're officially invited.
I'd like to come.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we were thinking about, we know what we face as challenges for women in midlife when they walk into our door. What are you seeing as the struggles for women in midlife as they're coming to see you?
I'd say first and foremost, being okay with making the time for themselves. That's first and foremost. A lot of self-diagnosing before they come in the door.
Dr. Google?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So those are really the top two, I'd say, challenges.
Okay. Things you see in women in midlife, just what other things do you see that keep them from coming and doing something like this for themselves?
I think, again, what you'll hear me say a lot is making the time for themselves. As women, we are caretakers in some which way, shape, or form. There's, an excuse that goes along with that, they're not deserving of it.
Yeah.
They don't have time for it. And then just that lack of, education behind, why they're there. A lot of people aren't recognizing their hormones. We train primarily, our demographic is females ages 35 and up.
Yeah.
A lot of them come in and they've either given up or they're just not sure where to go. They'll say, I'm 62 years old, but I was a size 4 and 112 pounds. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it when you did.
Yes.
It's not happening again.
Exactly. Yes.
Nor do you want it to.
Yeah. So
You'll be so skinny in the nursing home. That'd be right there.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why we refer people to a fitness trainer, someone like you, is we believe that women need that one-on-one or at least small proportion of people to trainers so that we avoid injuries. And sometimes women have sort of a intimidation factor, and heading to a box store type gym just is too much. They don't even know what to do with all the equipment. What would you say are the benefits of working with either one-on-one or one in small group? And maybe you can kind of explain what you do at your gym with regards to how you work with women.
First, the accountability factor. You're paying me to set a time with you, to dedicate an hour to you. Anybody that signs up with us, their first session is always free, and it's more of a getting to know you than anything. I'd say the first 40 minutes is me sitting down, Chris sitting down, and just listening to where you're at right now. What have you done? What are you doing? What are your goals? And then we go through an assessment. Having somebody that you're paying to take the thought out of it. I joke around with my clients a lot. You're here and you're paying me to think for you. So putting together a specific plan, specific nutrition plan that's geared towards you. The other side of that, too, is generally when women come in of, the midlife, they haven't heard of Faded to Fabulous. They haven't heard of, you too. So that's almost one of the very first things that I will recommend is having them get certain tests done for themselves.
What would a training session look like with you? Is there, do you have sort of a priority on resistance training?
It really depends on the client. Yes, obviously strength training is a big one. And, oftentimes a lot of the women coming in have no experience. And like you said, they're incredibly intimidated. And they're also just really not aware of their actual physical capabilities. I may, after 2 or 3 sessions, bump up the weight just a little bit and have them play around with that. And they're like, I had no idea I could pick up, I could do that.
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing. So, a woman will come in, any one of my clients will tell you the first thing out of my mouth is, how are you feeling today? And we go from there. Benefit from hiring an experienced trainer is I can work around anything. So there's no calling me and saying, my elbow hurts. I will tell you to come in because we can work around it.
Love
so
that.
There is that.
The rest of you is working. Get it in here.
So there is that motivation and experience. And then it's a full workout depending on how the person is. That's the personal side of personal training. And I guess what might be a challenge on my end is sometimes the headspace that women get into. So sometimes, just allowing them to sit and have that space for 5 minutes just to vent. And maybe we take the session down a notch and it's just a stretching meditation session. Play around with it per client, per session.
I love that.
I love that so much, too. What do you see as some of the biggest mistakes women are making in midlife when it comes to how to take care of their bodies? What are the things that you're seeing that you help people unlearn?
As I said earlier, they're trying to do what they did years ago, which you've said it, that it just doesn't work anymore. And not taking the time to really do the work to research what's going on with them. I started with Vicki 3-4 years ago, and it put me on such a different path. Obviously, you just the usual things, they're doing all sorts of cardio, but no resistance training. They are, now, unfortunately, that everybody is uploading everything into ChatGPT and having them, put together certain, which it's a tool to some degree.
It's way too generic.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
way too generic. Yeah.
And I think that's
right now in particular, women in midlife have spent all of it in diet culture, right? So it is the perpetual, wish for the smaller body at any cost. So a lot of under eating, under fueling,
yes,
pushing beyond, and a lot of things that we talk to women in midlife about are, maybe instead of the half marathon, it doesn't mean you have to stop running, but maybe instead of training for that half marathon, you add in something that's restorative as well.
Yeah.
It's important.
What I think too is really compelling about working with a personal trainer is that you are keeping up with what we're learning, right? We've learned so much in the last few years. I now know that that's a really bad plan. I didn't know it at the time. So I think being able to help women understand the new science that's out there, there's a lot of chatter about it. And to have somebody who can sort of say, okay, that's what I'm hearing too, but let's apply it to you or not, right? How does that new information apply to each individual? I think is great. You can't do that in your own basement by yourself. Yeah.
And I think another thing too is the goals that women set for themselves are usually so far out there. So I like to help encourage them to dial it back. Don't focus on the number on the scale. Focus on, are you sleeping better? Are you feeling better? Do you have more energy? Like that lethargic feeling that women get. I love hearing, after the first few weeks how they're feeling more energized. I think it's a big change.
Realistic expectations.
Yes.
One of your clients told me that after working with you, she felt like she walked into rooms a little taller and a little stronger, both in her body and her person.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Put that on your website.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, I mean,
There you go.
that's huge. That is physical, right? Because if you're carrying yourself with more strength, that transfers to how you actually present yourself, which is huge.
If you could pick, so somebody, you had to take all of your wisdom, right? What are the top 3 things you would say to women are important about their journey with fitness in midlife? You're good.
You're fine. Yeah. This is in your head already.
Yeah.
You know this.
I would say the top 3 most important things are making that commitment to yourself, however you're going to do it. Personally, I take it week by week. I've been doing this a long time. People just assume it comes easy to me. No, it's work every day to get up and make the decision. Maybe starting your day with a positive affirmation of some sort, and then hire an experienced trainer, whether it's maybe 4 to 6 weeks, just to get that accountability, that habit, some sort of plan going that will work for you. And then, what I said earlier, not focusing so much on the aesthetics, which, I know is
to do.
Yeah, I know it's really difficult, but the other small wins. There's nothing that feels better to me when a week has passed and I remember to pack meals for myself. I got up a few minutes earlier to take some time for gratitude. I got my workouts in when I said, and I also like to do something which I call hard stop. So I make the times in my calendars, and it's non-negotiable when, if I say I'm going to work out at 3:00 or walk my dog or meal prep, that's the time I set aside and nothing else matters.
Love it.
We've
So
been
important.
talking about just the idea of urgent and important, things that are urgent need to be done now and need to be done by you. And I think that reminding women that taking care of themselves, both their fitness, their sleep, their eating, whatever that means, that remains in the urgent and important bucket always, regardless of work and kids. Unless, if there's a kitchen fire or your child has broken their leg, then obviously.
Yes. I'm just picturing you on a treadmill with your weights.
Right. Well, it's funny.
Listen, I'm not stopping this workout.
Kidding. Yeah, I was telling a client the other day, that our tagline, Cynthia, is that resistance strength training is not
Non-negotiable.
optional. It's not negotiable. And I said, the flames might be licking at your heels as you're finishing up your workout, running out of your kitchen fire, right? Like,
Yeah.
so.
And another suggestion is journaling. It's very helpful for me, and it's amazing how quickly you forget the progress that you have had. So I love to go back a few months and say, oh, I was feeling that way for a long time, but I feel better now. Or I started taking X supplement, and these are the improvements that I've seen.
Yeah, excellent. So everyone should come see you. We know that.
Yes.
And let's say we have people that listen who can't get to you. They're in other places in New Hampshire or other places in the States. What should somebody look for in a trainer? What are the kind of things you would tell a woman who's seeking a trainer to look for?
Well, shameless plug, I do a lot of virtual and online.
All right.
So further.
There you go.
But I would say, first and foremost, if you can get a referral from a trusted friend or family member who's had a good experience with somebody, that word of mouth, that's my favorite way to network and get clients. How did they make you feel your very first session? Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel listened to? I had a client that just came in the other day, and after a few weeks, her trainer said, "You have a lot of excuses." And this poor woman is dealing with a sick dad and a sick this. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, that you had that experience.
Yeah, because shame's a great motivator, right?
Right.
Now.
Yes.
Never. Never.
And, what is your experience? How long have you been doing this? Where have you worked? What's your typical clientele?
I like it.
I like looking on your website too. Is the pictures that are in it are similar to the person that you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a 50-year-old woman and the website has, all 12-year-olds, then that may not be the place that you're going to be most comfortable versus seeing some pictures of, folks that are more in your generation, right?
Yes.
In your time of life.
Who've heard of a hot flash?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, we believe that strength training is not optional. Resistance training is not optional in the perimenopause, menopause, and beyond journey. How do you feel about that? What's your...
Oh, I 100% agree.
Okay.
Strength training is not optional. Plethora of benefits that you guys all discuss. My point of view is what you said earlier. Someone was feeling more confident. They were standing up taller. Obviously, we know the shifts that it can help with our hormonal changes. It can help us sleep better. You have to be strength training.
Yeah.
It's the major shift into not looking at a short-term gain, but looking at the long-term goal. You at 75 playing pickleball, I'm going to say it every time, still chasing your spouse around and having fun.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Cynthia, thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Love having
taking
you.
the time and coming in. And more importantly, thank you for taking care of women in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We need
pleasure.
more people like you doing that. And we hope to hear from and talk to you lots in the
Yes,
future.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies. I hope
Thank you for joining us,
Yes, and I
as
hope you
always.
enjoyed this. And give us comments if you have them. Please share us with your friends. If you're looking for more, come and find us on fatedtofabulous.biz, where you will find lots more from Vicki and I.
Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thanks for spending time with Vicki and I today on Fated to Fabulous, where midlife is just the beginning of your boldest chapter yet. If you got something out of today's episode, we'd love it if you'd share it with a friend and leave a review. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking for more support, inspiration, or sisterhood, come join us at fatedtofabulous.biz, because you were never meant to do midlife alone. Until next time, stay fabulous.